Before I begin, you need to know what Spotter 3 is. Well, FastCompany.com, a seeming news site, I guess, says this in regards to highly successful YouTubers. Spotter offers cash up front in exchange for acquiring their back catalog of videos for a limited time. These deals have ranged anywhere from 10,000 to 50 million, which has allowed creators such as Mr. Beast to create Spanish and Portuguese language channels. Now, why is this important? Well, in my script, I actually say I'm going to link Atozy'S video, and yeah, Spotter 3 seems to have blocked his video on quote-unquote copyright grounds. I'm still going to link it as I originally intended, however for now at least, it will only lead to an unavailable screen with even the comments turned off, so the context for this video is now likely almost impossible to get a hold of. This is unfortunate, as I really did want people to be able to reference the video and make up their own minds about such a subjective thing, and hopefully it gets undone in the future, because no matter my opinion of his video, I am fairly certain that nothing Atozy did within his video could actually be considered a copyright violation. By the way, if anyone knows if comments are automatically turned off in the event of a copyright issue, please let me know, because I have no idea if that's the case. Well, with that preface out of the way, on with the original intent of the video, I suppose. Atozy. A fairly standard, normal current events YouTuber I usually enjoy. Not this time, I'm afraid. Well, we all make mistakes, I suppose. And what mistake do I believe he made? Well, frankly, a decent chunk of his most recent video titled Mr. Beast Will Regret This Livestream Forever. I'm not going into painstaking detail about this issue because Atozy'S video is about 36 minutes long and a lot of it is just normal stuff. I'll link it and Dogpack404's video in the video description if you want a more solid context, which Atozy didn't do, by the way. And while he is not obligated to do so, you would think he would be willing to provide it as context or proof to some of his viewpoints. It was just an odd choice, I guess. However, there are two main things in his video that frankly makes me fairly uncomfortable. And that would be an almost constant complaint about Dogpack404's video, and what I hope is an unintentional misunderstanding of one of the problems brought up in it, aka the many lies told by Mr. Beast. Pretty much the first thing Atozy says is, he believes Dogpack404 has a grudge against Mr. Beast, while ignoring that he probably cannot prove such a thing at all. He also repeats the sentiment much later in the video, again, without any real proof, which is kind of ironic given he complains about Dogpack not providing proof for some of his claims. This complaint pops up several times in the video, and perhaps, or rather hopefully, accidentally feels like he is attacking a much smaller new creator's style and lack of experience. Almost nobody can make an even close to perfect video on what is likely their first, or at least close to their first attempt. When you're new to something, you're going to overlook things, sometimes even important things. I assume Dogpack's new to it, at least. Can't be entirely sure about it. Now, that alone would be a minor thing on its own. However, the second point makes this much, much worse. That point being that Atozy seems to consider Mr. Beast's constant lies about CGI and interference or scripting in his videos a small, pointless, or petty complaint, I think. At the very least, he considers it far less important than the almost certainly illegal lotteries within said videos. This is a massive misunderstanding of why the complaint exists in the first place. He seems to think that such things are obvious to Mr. Beast's audience. Mr. Beast's videos are mostly watched by and targeted at children. Implying these things should be obvious to his audience is ridiculous. Younger children, even tweens or very young teenagers, are incredibly impressionable and often prone to not separate reality from fiction, at least to an extent. Then, when you realize Mr. Beast at least seems to go out of his way to gain the trust and even adoration of many of these children, you will likely realize they are even less likely to separate from reality what would be obvious fiction to an adult. This got so bad at one point, he was asking his very young, impressionable audience to clean up his chocolate bar shelves at Walmart, even going so far as to tell them to ask employees if there were any in the back. All in the hopes he would run across them in said Walmarts and reward them, I guess. This, fortunately, and appropriately, had a rather harsh backlash against it. Because, yeah, of course there was. Propositioning free labor from children is always going to leave a bad taste in the mouths of most modern people, especially if you're dangling a possibly non-existent carrot in front of them as well. It's that fundamental misunderstanding of MrBeast's core audience that really hurts Atozy'S video here, even more so than his almost aggressive need to claim Dogpack 404 is holding a grudge, which he does bring up an annoying number of times. And yes, I'm aware of the irony. Oh, one more thing about Atozy'S video's content. I find it incredibly ironic that he claims in his very video to be neutral while claiming another creator is not so without any real proof. Now, before I end the video, I'm going to reiterate this. No matter what my opinion on Atozy'S video, I do not believe his video should have been blocked. As far as I'm aware, he did not violate any actual copyright, and a company that is at least seemingly very clearly closely affiliated with MrBeast, taking down a video mostly about the almost certainly illegal things he has done is not a good look for MrBeast or said company. This is cover-up level nonsense if I've ever seen it. Well, that's all for today, so I'll just say, thank you for listening to my inane ramblings.